Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück hier beim Lauscher-Podcast Lama und Schabe, dein flauschig, knackiger Podcast für alles rund um das Thema Rollenspiel. Vielleicht hast du unsere letzte Folge oder vorletzte, ich weiß es nicht genau, gehört, wo du dich gewundert hast, dass wir plötzlich in Zungen reden. Ja, wir reden Englisch, weil wir einen ganz besonderen Gast haben und ich freue mich besonders über den Gast. Wir haben Carlos Diaz hier, den Main Artist, den Hauptkünstler für das grandiose Rollenspiel Hexen 1733. Und wir haben natürlich nicht nur Carlos Diaz hier. Wenn ich wir sage, meine ich damit natürlich auch die liebe Shiraki. Hallo Shiraki.
Hello, Jens.
And this is where we switch to English, that Carlos is able to follow what we say and we can talk to each other. Our topic for today is the art of Hexen 1733. And I'm really happy that we can talk about this because in our last topic, Shiraki was not able to participate a lot. And now I will listen more than I talk because there are two artists in here that I really admire for their work. And I would really love to let them talk about their artwork. And let's start by hi, Carlos.
Hi.
So I hand over to Shiraki to start our chat about the artwork of Hexen 1733.
Yes. Carlos, so to start at the beginning, how did you get into it? You said you were working with an old bamboo
Yeah, I did.
tablet.
And I tried to reach some minimum quality level to start sending portfolios to companies and such. But I started on DeviantArt, posting that back in the day.
Like we all did, yes.
I think probably took me almost 10, 11 years to have some sort of real commission. And then and slowly but steady I commissions came, nothing too fancy. Perhaps the big one, the first big one, was for Fantasy Flight for Legend of the Five Rings, might be 2080, I think 18. And then a little after that, Ulysses came and contacted me to do several pieces for Hexen.
So they contacted you. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so
Back then, 7 years ago, I think it was a DeviantArt was already a dumpster that was not at all like it was before.
Yeah.
But that was the place where my art director, former art director Mike Smith, picked me up from from that trash can and saw a few pictures of mine and thought he could commission me a couple of pictures for Hexen. And after that, I did think a couple of years working as a freelance, and then they gave me the position as a lead artist.
What's your not inspiration, but where do you get the flavor for your artwork, for the Hexen artwork from?
I don't think I have much of a plan. I try to do the pictures as good as possible every time, but the mood that Hexen has is pretty much a compatible one with the things I do. I do a pretty dark and gritty, even grim dark stuff. So I think it matched by coincidence. I didn't have to switch my style to match the one from the game. I think they pick me up because I have such style.
Yes.
So there was no adaptation. I was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think your work is a perfect match. I'm really into your earthy tones, your color palette, and how you do the detail and how much fluidity and movement is in your work, especially when you picture fighting scenes. Love that. There's always so much stuff going on in your fighting scenes.
Yeah, sometimes I put too much stuff into a painting.
No, that's
I know,
not too much.
and
Really like it.
I'm quite shocked about your comment because I think color is the thing that I struggle the most.
What? Why?
Yeah,
Really?
I'm never
Wow, you
happy
blow
with
my
my
mind
color.
now. Because you have such a distinct palette. I thought that's just one of your strong suits.
Oh my!
Really? I've looked up your work again before we talked on your homepage,
Mhm.
and your palette is very consistent through all of your work. The only thing that doesn't match your usual palette is when you do sci-fi.
Mhm.
Then it's a very clean and cool palette, but you always have those earthy undertones in your color palette, what I really, really like. So I thought that's one of your things you're really good at.
I'm I'm really shocked. Well, if I have to name a couple of things that I think I'm really bad, are the tone management and the colors. I think I always use too much dark tones, and I always feel my colors never quite match each within each other. I always think they pop like a coloring book from a child.
I don't see that at all. At all.
Yeah. And there you see something I see with every artist, nearly every artist. They always underestimate their own work.
Yes.
I've got a question. Do you think that your work matches the Hexen style quite good, or do you think you established the Hexen style? Because, as you said, it started off from the first crowdfunding. So, do you think your style influenced Hexen, or was it the other way around, or both?
I'm on the first side. Um, I don't think I was my stuff was before the game style. Mainly because I'm not the only artist in the game. There are quite a few, and they are quite good. And we talked about previously before the recording about Helge and also Nicholas Arnold and several others who also have this pretty much established style of grim, dark, and gritty. They worked for Games Workshop and other companies that got games with a pretty dark and gritty style. So I don't think it's from my side exclusively. I think the art direction made a great job by gathering this group of people into this specific game.
So, Shiraki, back to you. I just wanted to ask this question.
My problem is when I start to ask questions, it's always getting so technical.
That's totally okay. We are
Oh,
talking
let's
about
get
art.
technical
You can
then.
get as technical as you want to.
I have to ask, are you are not only painting, I guess there's graphic work going on too, with using textures and
A lot.
such things. A
Yeah,
lot, yes.
a lot of textures. A lot. I try not to be extremely obvious, but I do use a lot of textures. A lot of. Yeah.
For the ones who don't know what you're talking about, so maybe me, would you explain what that means?
There are certain mm, parts of a picture that might get uh, find useful, that will benefit from some sort of realism,
Hmm.
and those textures help with making the picture a place believable, something like was more tangible. uh, a painterly piece has its own feel.
Hmm.
Like when sometimes I feel like I depict a scene that matches something like an old painting or something like that. I made it without the textures. But for others that have some more fantasy vibe, uh, monsters or a fight with magic and explosions and something like that, if I do paint a subject with such an unreal vibe, I like to put some more real textures on it, because I have to balance some sort of
Hmm.
uh, giving some sort of equilibrium into this, because too much fantasy will drop the piece into the all the styles for all those high fantasy pieces, and that would not be the kind of gritty realism that Exxon needs.
Hmm.
Yes, I think your artwork is very palpable when you look at it. It's really like it could be there. It's kind of realism I really like. Um, I'm just looking through your artwork again. I'm just
Then
I'm
maybe I put a question in the middle.
yes do.
Um, there is a quite strong historic part in the artwork of Hexen. Do you do a lot of research before you do something in it? So, what do the dresses look like, the armors, the weapons? So, there should not be a peacemaker revolver in your pictures because they were not there in
Yeah,
the time where Hexen plays. Um, this is a strong example. But do you do a lot of research, maybe in a museum, on and how do you do it?
yeah, they're mostly books. I gather quite a few, a big pile of books of those things, and also even online. When I gather, I had to force myself into spend quite an absurd amount of money time into gathering references,
Yeah,
because I always have the urge to go straight forward, to go right away into painting. I have the feeling that I can do it right away without looking at anything, just by imagination, by pure memory, and let's say inspiration. But I know myself, and I know that if I want a somewhat good result, I must spend quite a long time gathering references. I know myself, and I had to force myself into looking for references.
yeah, that's I have exactly the same problem too. So when you have a concept and you want to start with this concept right away, but you have to force yourself
Yeah.
uh, to open up pure ref and make a gathering of references. Um, do you need any Do you use any kind of help like 3D models or photo references before you do your concepts, or do you start with a concept and gather the things you need for this concept?
Usually I get a description for the piece, and pretty much every time it's very specific in the items that should and should not be on the piece. Mm, I tried to made a sketch previously, and once it gets approved, the overall composition,
Hmm.
then I go for a, let's say, if I had a batch of pieces, let's say four, and I made those four sketches, and once they are approved by art direction, then I move into gathering references, because if I spend the time and then the sketch is not approved, or I have to radically switch into something different, all that time will be wasted. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, after the sketch is approved, I move into a, probably for four pieces I will need a whole day looking through galleries, Google Images, and some sort all sort of places.
Are you doing um, line sketches or this kind of thumbnails where you have light and shadows blocked in
Mm, pretty
roughly?
much, pretty much lines and colors. I do some sort of line composition over a free grid that I overlay over the piece, and that helps me to locate the focal points and places where things should be placed. Um, and after that, I uh, underpaint colors, rough shapes under those lines, so they are pretty rough and sometimes barely readable. But but I think it's enough to give the art direction the idea of what I have in mind that should be the piece.
A few years ago, you did a private commission for me,
Hmm.
and now you are a full paid artist for a company. Do you still find time to do private commissions? And what do you like more, a private commission or the work you do for your constant living for the company?
I don't make any difference from those. I really enjoy both, and yeah, I got time. Since I don't consider myself a talented person, but more of a working one. I paint every day. I paint 7 days a week, and split into 2 or 3 sessions of maybe 4 hours each. So yeah, for now I got time for almost everything. I never had to give up on any assignment. Perhaps delay something a few weeks, but never had such an amount of works into a queue. Never. I'm not that kind of uh, famous artist and or online big name that has a big queue of commissions. I There are quite a few. Pretty much my whole fan base is in Germany, and they are excellent players, so it's not quite a worldwide audience. So
So we
Do
will see. Yeah, Shiaki.
do you have any personal projects, or do you paint for yourself or just for work?
I try to because I like to switch the themes of the paintings, and while painting for accent, almost everything is baroque and 18th century related, and that's not my favorite setting at all. So sometimes when I am able to, when I have time, when I've rushed enough the time for a commission peak and some small window appears, then I try to do something for myself or to enhance or renew portfolio just in case any other company could look at the work and like it. So
What
yeah,
is
but maybe nowadays perhaps I have to postpone pieces for myself and I
Hmm.
can work on a piece for a couple of months because I have to take a quarter of an hour here and a quarter of an hour there, and they took forever to finish those pieces.
Yeah, I feel you. I have the same problem. What is your favorite subject, though?
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
you
would
don't
have
do enough
not
of
guessed.
those.
I would never have guessed that
Yeah.
sci-fi is your favorite topic. Um, well, we've reached the end of time, I think. Maybe I know that you have a lots of really big fans in Germany who really like your work, and here your name is known uh, throughout the Hexen community in special, of course. And there are many people who admire you for the work you do. And maybe this will get bigger when Hexen is going to the international base and will come in
Perhaps.
English. And then you will get famous all over the world. Maybe.
Carlos, where can our listeners find you? On
Oh
which sites? It's not DeviantArt anymore, I
no,
guess.
no,
Or
no, no! It's been a while since I last posted that. No, I have my own. I have my own site. It's cameodigital.artworks.com,
Mhm.
and also
We will
as
put the link for it down in the video
and
description.
also on Instagram and Blue Sky as Shown Cameo.
Great. So thank you very much for joining us in this
My pleasure.
small podcast. For all you people out there, if you have questions, and I know you have them, or if you just want to write your sign of admiration down in the comments, I will, of course, pass them on to Carlos. And maybe if you have a wish for private commissions, if you have time to wait, then Carlos would be happy to do them for you. Uh, I would like to read you all in the comments, and if you are down on your way in the comments, just leave a like, push the bell, just join the channel, and name your first child Carlos, maybe. Um,
Don't do that. Seriously, don't do
especially
that.
if she's a girl, don't do it. Um, so we wish you a very good time out there. Be kind to each other, do nerdism, and be a good person and have a good time. We say goodbye as your Lama, Shiraki, and Carlos. Bye bye.
bye.
Just